about my face. Hey, don't got time to waste. Yeah, I don't need permission, I'ma do it all today. Yeah, they just can't believe it, man. That's all they gonna say. See these plays up on my Spotify, that's money in the bank about my face. Hey, don't got time to waste. Yeah, I don't need permission, I'ma do it all today. Yeah, they just can't believe it, man. That's all they gonna say. See these plays up on my Spotify, that's money in the bank. Yeah, I remember back when they said I won't do a thing now. Shawty, why you talking? That's why you were fleeing. Ooh, did it by myself? No, I don't need a team. I told Famous and the Fire I might go and do that team. There I go, man, I tell them all what's up now. Oh, now they all wanna fuss now. Don't look around in the city, when I look around it's us now. Man, they wanna kick it when I touch now. Why you wanna D and that's us now? Talking about fam, you ain't cousin now. Calling me B, I got a buzz now. Yeah, now I got it going, I just no, it ain't just for the moment, I mean. Yeah, I bring the hammer, call me Thor. Yeah, I say my prayers, just be saying yours. You ain't know, I bet you know it now. Switching lanes, I can't slow it down. Doors were closed, but they open now. Yeah, they call and think they notice now. By my face. Hey, don't got time to waste. Yeah, I don't need permission, I'ma do it all today. Yeah, they just can't believe it, man. That's all they gonna say. See these plays up on my Spotify, that's money in the bank about my face. Hey, don't got time to waste. Yeah, I don't need permission, I'ma do it all today. Yeah, they just can't believe it, man. That's all they gonna say. See these plays up on my Spotify, that's money in the bank.
By my face. Hey, don't got time to wait. Yeah.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve. Seal my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect. Let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house. And whoo. Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Woo. Watch how I set it up, bet you I shut it down, watch how I get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner, got a finger run up in on a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare to my line, but the winner about the cage. I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. Better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go. go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, Bitcoin's going to zero. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. The thumbnail has an up hour on it, so I got to make some kind of a bullish case here. I'm just kidding. Nobody panic. Everybody stay calm. Nothing's wrong. But in today's live stream, guys, we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. I'm not feeling this hat, guys. I'm not feeling the candle hat right now. I'm not going to lie. We got fuzzies on it. I'm not feeling it. I'm going to go ahead and put on the traditional Frankie Candles hats. By the way, if you guys smash that like button, 550 likes, we'll be giving some of these away on Friday night's live stream. But in today's live stream, guys, we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. Can we continue up to some of these higher bullish targets? And if we do, what are they? Because there are some things popping up on the chart that, you know, I'll be honest, I'm kind of neutral right now. I do think we can continue higher for some very specific reasons, some basic reasons, but still open to those moves to the downside. I'm kind of just playing these in the shorter term trades. And I want to talk about the possibilities of coming up to those higher targets, what they are, and what I'm looking at on the charts that could potentially be pointing that direction. Some stuff on the indicators, some stuff just with the local bullish market structure. So we're going to be taking a look at all that tonight. We're going to be taking a look at some of those volume profiles. Shout out to Nirvana dropping those volume profile emojis. Let's go. Drop those VP emojis if you got them. Let's see. Shout out to Bitfrog. What is going on, bro? Said, will the alts pump, though? We'll be taking a look at those altcoins as well a little bit later into the stream. We'll take a look at them. And yeah, we'll try to see if we can find some bumpers. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Guys, our mods are in the chat. Tyler Durden, Rob the Crypto Snob, Crypto Billy, Captain Kirk, Crypto Anon. You guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. If you love them as much as I do, let them know. Well, it's going to be impossible to love them as much as I do, but let them know how much you love them, guys. Shout out to Jay Violet. We got Bitfrog in the chat. We got Benny B. Bodifo in the chat said, morning all. Shout out to Benny. Where are you coming in from in the morning here? We are in the evening, so you must be on the other side of the planet, potentially. Shout out to BTC Goalie. Shout out to BCT. BTC Goalie, what is going on? We got Ken Barkoff in the chat said, yo, Mafia, let it rip. We got Mrs. Candles reporting for duty. Let me see the hand. Mrs. Candles, give me a sniff. Pump this thing to at least $65,000. Here we go. Oh, baby, it smells like 65K. Shout out to Mrs. Candle. Shout out to Do Al Jr. We got Trader NZ in the chat. What is going on? OG Yummy said 240 people. Yo, shout out to OG Nami. Smash that like button, guys, and show OG Nami that he could not be more wrong. Shout out to Mountain Magnus. What is going on, bro? We got it's the Goldman. Hey, Frankie, ready to learn. Shout out to you, bro. Get those glasses on. I don't have my glasses today. We're keeping it nerd free in the Frank Candle studio tonight, guys. But shout out to Crypto Boyo. What is going on? He says, cluck, cluck. Welcome in, bro. Good to see you in here. He said, she does have nice hands. Nice skin, too. Shout out to Creighton C. But let's go ahead. Shout out to Crypto Owl saying the greatest 100. Let's get it. No ring on Mrs. Candles. Shout out to Pew Pew. Hey, Pew Pew, don't blow up my spot like that. But guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the chat. Run up those likes. When we see you sniffing her hand, I wonder if you get yo, shout out, talking about oiling up in here. Shout out to guys, this is a G-rated chat. I'm just kidding, guys, but shout out to you guys. Thank you for being here. Pardon off dropping those nail emojis. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and see if we can figure out what Bitcoin is going to do next. Let's get into it. All right, here we are. Oh, wait, hang on one second, guys. Hang on one second. Hang on. I got to change my screen. I got to take it off ultra wide because nobody can see when I'm using the ultra wide settings. Unfortunately, I got this nice 4K. I think it's a 4K ultra wide. And I don't even get to use it on stream, unfortunately. But now let's go ahead and jump onto the charts and see if we can figure out what Bitcoin's next move is going to be. Let's get it. All right, so let's see. Yo, shout out to Crypto Pollo. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Bitcoin hitting local resistance. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to talk about that. But first, I want to start off with the potential higher targets that I will be looking at, guys, and kind of why I think there is a possibility for us to come up a little bit more here. Let's go ahead and take a look. So obviously, guys, we have been looking for price to get a move all the way through basically this entire move up ever since that 90-minute money flow crossover at about $55-ish thousand. Looking for price to come up to 57, 58 to 59, and then 61 to 62, and this final level of resistance that we saw here at about 64,000, 400 or 64,600. Really, the level I was looking at was 63.5 to 64.5, and obviously we have come up to these next major levels of resistance where we are getting a little hung up. Now, every time we approach one of these key levels of resistance, guys, it doesn't always mean that we're going to get a big drop to the downside, right? Oftentimes, what it can mean is we're just going to get a little bit of a hang up before finally continuing to the upside. Now, if we are going to get a drop down here, or not, we could talk about in a little while. But first off, I want to talk about those higher targets and kind of the next areas that I'm going to be looking. Now, we all know about the major range that we're looking at between about the major volume profile that we've been looking at, basically since the beginning of time, right? Between about, 60,000 all the way up to about $70,400 with that POC sitting in the middle at 67K. Now, that $67,000 level is obviously going to be the next target, as we've been talking about here on the live stream, over and over and over again. That is going to be kind of the next major target, but we are hitting that local resistance. But I do want to talk about some of these next local levels that we have. Now, very simply put, we do just have some simple daily horizontal levels. One coming in right here at about $65,305. And that is going to be kind of the next local resistance that I will be looking at. Now, this, in my opinion, guys, if we are going to get, now, if you guys tuned in yesterday, you will know we were looking at that daily red dot as a potential, not opportunity, but a potential catalyst to get a little bit of a retracement, and we kind of just ate that thing right up. Now, it is still there, right? Just because it didn't, confirm and instantly drop us doesn't mean that we can't come down. But, we look at the, we kind of just started ripping right through that, right? So, with that being said, I'll tell you what I would like to see if we are, even going to get a little bit more of a cool off here. What I would really like to see is a break of these highs, right? As we've been looking at on, let me pull up exo charts really quickly, pull up the heat maps. And take a look here, right? So, kind of what I am looking at is I would love to come up. Let me see. Let me pull up the correct time frame here. Let me actually pull up a 1-month chart. Might not be able to see it on the 1-month chart. I do have the Aztecian cactus moss water here, guys. I'm just kidding. It's just black coffee. But let's go ahead and I want to take a look at this. Oh, my God. We're going to have to turn down the granularity on this. Bear with me here. We're going to have to go all the way up there, turn that up a little bit, adjust the settings, make it a little bit more palatable here. So, yeah, really what I would like to see, guys, this wick up here is sitting at about $64,738. $64,738, right? So right above this high, guys, you can see that we do actually have a significant amount of liquidity sitting up here, up into about $66,000. Now, I don't know if that liquidity is going to be able to drag us all the way up to $66,000, but I would love to see something happen here, right? I would love to see if we know that we do have those liquidations sitting up here. Not only do we have the liquidity sitting up there, I'll even draw a little bit of a box here just so we can kind of mark this out, right? So we know we have the liquidity sitting up there. We know it, obviously comes all the way up to about 66K. I'll actually turn this into gray for licks or liquidations. But what I would really like to see here, if we could come up and grab some of this liquidity, for me personally, I am in a little bit of a scalp short right now, but I'll be honest, it is a little bit risky in my opinion for a few different reasons. I wouldn't be surprised if I get stopped out of the short position. I do still have the long from 58K running in profit. I have about 2K in profit locked in there. And then I'm, over 1,000 in profit unrealized. So, altogether, if I were to close that trade out right now, it'd be about $3,000 in profit. But I already have 2K locked in, letting that winner run. And my stop loss is at break even. I probably should move it into profit. I just haven't yet. It's pretty far away from my entry. So, but that is a guaranteed winning trade, whether I get stopped out or not. That is a profitable trade. But I am taking a stab at this little scalp short. I will bring that up in just a second. But I'm not going to be surprised, right? Like when we know that we have liquidity sitting, pretty close above, oftentimes price will likely go take that liquidity. Now, it's not 100% certainty, but it would be really nice. Like kind of what I would like to see for a nice, technical move here would be to come up and, basically come sweep these highs, right? I would love to see price come up, right? Break this high, this wick up here from, again, $65,000 is almost exactly where that level sits. Come in, wash out some of these short positions, right? Stop them out, maybe get a little bit of a liquidation wick, and then this will probably be the next place that I will be looking for somewhat of a, another significant reaction, right? If we are going to get another pullback, because we don't know, right? Like we thought with that daily red dot yesterday, maybe we get a little cool off. Now I am still bullish for the most part. I do think higher prices are on the way here. Now I'm not calling for 100K yet, but I do think more likely than not, we do have the daily money flow crossover into the green, something we were looking at yesterday saying, remember, the money flow indicates a longer term trend. If you get that green dot, that red dot to print, as long as that money flow stays in the green, you would anticipate a small pullback to put in a higher low and then continue to the upside. We actually didn't really get the pullback too much. We did come down a little bit. We didn't really come down significantly. And really what I would like to see, again, is a push up to these levels, right? I would like to come interact with that, 65 to, there is a level up here we talked about yesterday. It actually comes from the exo charts here. Sitting up here, we have a time point of control sitting at $66,312. So that is worth keeping an eye on. As you're likely to get somewhat clung up on that in some way. But for the most part, I would really like to just kind of come sweep these highs and then see if we can get like another significant pullback if we don't pull back from where we are right now. But other than that, guys, I really do think based off the daily money flow, as well as a few other things, right? We are now printing an 8-hour green dot right now, as well as our 30-minute money flow now continuing to cross over into the green here. This actually called this little pop to the upside. I mean, with the way that I look at the charts, with that 8-hour green dot, that money flow crosses over into the green. You get that nice little pop to the upside. But for the most part, guys, I really do think that as long as, if we pull up something like the 1 hour, like we are in bullish market structure here, right? Like the trend is your friend until the end. Now, you might say to yourself, well, Frankie, what about the 3-day money flow? That is still not out of the question, right? Just because this 1 hour market structure is bullish and we could continue the trend up does not invalidate the fact that the 3-day money flow is still in the red here, starting to get a little rejection at the zero line as that VWAP rolls over, right? So, 67K definitely going to be the next target to the upside, but I will say, like, these higher time frames still are a little bit sketchy. But again, we don't know if we're going to get a fake out here on money flow. It's very, very, very difficult to tell if we're going to get that fake out on money flow. So I'm not really trying to guess. We've already gotten really lucky. I've gotten very lucky with the fake out on money flow we called back here. And to be quite honest, this one's even more difficult to call. So, the 3-day money flow still stands. But locally, right, you have the 1 hour making higher highs and higher lows, right? We're just clearly in bullish market structure here. So I will be looking up towards those targets. Next one between about, 65K. We'll see if we can come up, grab that liquidity. And then if we can get past that, really that 66, what is it? 66.5, I think, or 66.3. Yeah, 66.3 is the next major target. And then, for the most part, if we just want to simplify things, just looking at things within the context of the macro volume profile here, value area low to the POC up to the value area high. That's just really where I would be expecting things to go until we wind up losing that $60,000 value area low. So yeah, as long as this market structure remains bullish, like even if we were to get a cool off here and come test some lower levels, like we could still keep that bullish market structure. So just trying to catch those smaller moves down, capitalize on those, lock in some profits, get some quick gains for the day before getting those continuations up to higher prices. Now I do want to remind you guys, when we're looking at these higher prices here, I do want to point out, right, not only is the POC a key level, but if we just look at our kind of weekly trend line here, this is coming in pretty good confluence with that POC. We are still technically in a downtrend here. This does not mean that we cannot continue up. I'll be honest, right? Like, generally, like, this is why it's awesome to be a trader, right? Because we're not trying to guess whether, my long-term bags are packed at between $20,000 and $21,000, right? So I am not worried really about, like, the bigger move, right? if we take off from here, I'm happy. My long-term bags are absolutely ripping, and I'm a happy camper, right? But, as a trader, we have to keep the local market structure in mind, right? So locally, this is obviously a local uptrend on the lower time frames, so that would make us kind of anticipate higher lows and higher highs. But, looking in at something like the weekly, just remember, we are still in a macro downtrend. Just with these little pops to the upside, everybody gets super bullish. Not that I'm not bullish, but I'm just saying you can't get blindly bullish and just think that, because we got this little push up that we're looking for 100K. That's not how it works, and it's how a lot of people got wrecked on that pump, and this pump, and hopefully not this pump. Hopefully we could just flip that POC and come up to higher prices, but you heard it here first. We are still technically in a downtrend. This is not my opinion, right? You can't fake this. This is a downtrend in a binary fashion, right? This is not, I think this is a downtrend. It is, right? And the fact that you have the confluence here on $67,000, if we are able to get those higher prices to come, definitely going to be the big level to get above if we want to see all-time highs and even just $70,000. We do have a lot of liquidity sitting up here. So, I always approach each level with caution, and I trade the reaction, right? Like if we come up to this level, even if I thought that we were going to get a massive rip up to 100K here, if we approach that value area high and we're going to sweep that liquidity and things look really bearish, I am not going to be bullish anymore, right? A lot of people will come in and say, oh, what happened? You were bullish yesterday, now you're bearish, or you were bearish yesterday, now you're bullish. Like, what's going on? Like, welcome to the world of being a trader. If you want to be a trader and you don't want to do that, you're picking the wrong thing. Like, go be a long-term investor and try to buy low and just hold. That's a proven strategy that will win over time. But if you want to be a trader, you have to be ready to flip your bias on the spot. With that being said, 67,000, not only for the POC, but also this trend line is going to be extremely important resistance. And I will say this, the kind of what I would be looking at if we do continue up here, if we don't get those SFPs at about $65,000, the nice thing about this, guys, is if we come up and we do wind up, getting a grab of that liquidity above, you have that daily level of resistance just above you, like kind of backing you up, right? So we can come up here, sweep the liquidity, maybe continuously put in some bearish divergences up here. Might be a good place to look for some scalp shorts. However, once we get above here, that's kind of the only thing other than that 66,000. That's really the only thing. This daily level, $65,305 is the only thing holding us back from 66.3, right? And then at that point, I mean, you're pretty dang close to that $67,000 POC. So very important level of resistance here, 65,300. And you guys will know, like, when we were looking at the 786 at 62,350, we look at this as, let me pull it here. Right here, 62,350. This was a very key level for us to get above in order to see the $64,000 target come in, right? Like, so what happened? We got above that level, flipped it to support, and then we got that $64,000 target to get hit. Actually, we hit it as soon as we broke through it. Very similarly, kind of what I would look for is a flip of that daily, right? You get above. If you got to be careful, though, because if you don't sweep that liquidity, you might sweep that liquidity and get the big move down. But if we get above there, start building some support on top of that daily, I mean, POC at $67,000 is very, very close. But you have to keep in mind that you do have those slightly more local levels at 66.3. So there you go, guys. That is all of the sauce. Not all the sauce. But yeah, other than that, like, I'm being very cautious here, right? I am taking stabs at shorts up here, but hopefully, we can get that daily money flow to just continue up, right? 12-hour green dot also looking to print here. 16-hour green dot is printing, right? And what do we always look for with those green dots on the 16-hour? We look for that 1-hour money flow cross over into the green, and you can see we did just get that. This would potentially be calling for another move up, right? Another reason why I am, not really, I'm kind of expecting my scalp short here to get stopped out, right? Because, money flow coming into the green on the 1-hour, 16-hour green dot, as well as the 8-hour green dot. Some of this other stuff could be calling. And just on top of the fact that we have all that liquidity, again, visual on the heat map here, we have all that liquidity sitting above, right? So you might just come in, sweep it, and then we can make our decision once we come into that liquidity. So there you go. That is what I'm looking at basically here as a kind of local outlook on Bitcoin and longer term. Just very simply put, guys, like I know it gets really confusing with all of the, local levels, the golden pockets, the 786, all this stuff gets really confusing. The dailies, the weeklies, the daily naked points of controls. But for the most part, right, if you are just here and you're not looking to day trade or scalp the lower time frames, like this is what we're looking at. Key level of support, $60,000. Stay above that. I'm looking to continue the bullish market structure up to 67K. Once we get up there, we have to fight that long-term trend line. And then once we get above that, 70K and potentially all-time highs is on, in the cards. But it's not as easy, right? Like I know a lot of people will think like, guys, we break this level, all-time highs are definitely incoming. Now, I can say what I would expect, right? But, there's no way to know, like, once we get over that POC, there's definitely all-time highs to come in, especially with all the liquidity that we have sitting above those $70,000 or $74,000 highs, right? A lot of thick boys up here. 74.4, we have a lot of liquidity just above that, about 76. So even if we do come in and make an all-time high, you got to be careful of sweeping that liquidity and getting the correction back to the downside. And really the only reason, guys, I'll be honest, really the only reason that I'm even open to looking for that to happen, the only reason I'm not just screaming for all-time highs, again, are those higher time frames, like 3-day money flow, 4-day money flow also, could be rolling over here as well. So again, it's not like the most bearish thing ever. And again, I am favoring higher prices right now, but you just can't forget these higher time frames. So even if we did come up, you got to be really careful here, right? Just whoop, and then you get something like that. But again, my bias is that 67,000 will get hit, especially if we start flipping that daily and that time point of control around $63,000. Or I'm sorry, 66,300. All right, let's see. Shout out to Shekel Goblin. Shout out to you, bro. He says that pump past 65.5 and 66K will be glorious. I really do hope so. 66. Once we get above that POC, I mean, here's what I would expect, right? Get above the POC. That's your best bet of seeing things really start to pick up and get that real big rip. And then the only other thing after that point, flip the POC, you're looking for the high. But at that point, right, like the only thing you have to argue that you would come back down is grabbing the liquidity and coming back down, right? And again, it's not going to be the most popular thing to say on YouTube right now, but then in 2 weeks, everyone will be talking about it, and it's like, we were watching for this. But again, it's not about like saying that once we come up there, we are going to get a swing failure pattern and get a big drop, right? It is an if this, then that statement. Trading is about setting your trap, finding your key levels on the chart, waiting for price to interact with those levels or like even the zone that you're looking for a setup in, waiting for price to come in, interact with it. You could look for your confirmations. And if I were here, right, and we don't get we don't get the grab of liquidity, and it doesn't look like it's going to dump, I am not going to take the short. But I am definitely, going to keep my eyes open for some shorts here. And again, I'm long from 58K. So if we run. I'm covered on the long side. But why not capitalize even on the small pullbacks if we do wind up getting them? Make some money, right? Why not make money going both ways rather than just to the upside? You don't have to wait for a bull market if you know how to short the market. And if you want to long or short the market, guys, you can check out the links in the description down below. Let's see. Shout out to DJ Johnny. Said, Frankie, I love your TA, bro. Shout out to DJ Johnny. Or not DJ Johnny, just D Johnny. Johnny. Shout out to you, bro. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's check in on... Let's check in on chat real quick. Shout out to Porpato. Said, Frankie, you make me rich with your calls. Shout out to you and the Mafia. Shout out to Porpato. Shout out to you, bro. Well, hey, never copy trade anybody. This is never financial advice. No, you don't want to just copy some crazy guy screaming on YouTube. But shout out to you, bro. Glad to hear that my education here, the free education we give here every single weekday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, was able to help you make some money. Speaking of money, guys, Mrs. Candles cleaned up our cash, and I don't see it anywhere. There's a $20 bill she forgot to pick up, though. So shout out to Morpato. Bro, this is all I got for you. Mrs. Candles forgot a 20. She took the rest of it, though. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. But let's see. The free financial education. Shout out to K Diggity. Let's go. Shout out to K Dig. Good to see you in here, bro. Crypto Anon in the chat. What is going on, bro? Shout out to Barack. Said, love you, bro. What is going on? Shout out to DZ's Peanuts. Said, dang, what's good, fellas? What's up, DZ's Peanuts? But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Flavor. Said, Bitcoin looking bullish on the 10-year chart. Well, I mean, can't really argue that, right? I mean, this thing is bullish over time no matter what. It's up and to the right. What's going on? Crypto Anon. Welcome in, bro. Let's see. Oh, God, I don't want to butcher your name, bro. Balaji, hopefully I got that right, bro. He said, I think I started watching your channel 1 year ago this day. Thanks, bro. Hey, shout out to you, bro. I feel like we're celebrating an anniversary. Let's go. Shout out to the OGs in the chat. But, guys, if you want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat right now. Rob the Crypto Stomp, count the votes, and let us know what we're looking at. But first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. Well, actually, before we do that, I do just want to talk a little bit about the local resistance that we're hitting right now, right? So for the most part, like, this is pretty local resistance. Again, I would not be shocked if we are able to, stop out my little short here and continue to the upside. But I will say, like, even your 30-minute money flow crossing over into the green with the 8-hour green dot printing, I will say, yeah, I would just love to come up and grab that liquidity up into that daily. That would really be beautiful. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I would prefer to happen. But one thing I do want to talk about are, like, the local time frames, right? Like we do technically have some bearish divergences here. Part of the reason why I was looking for shorts, I didn't just short the bear div, but we do have the higher highs on your price action into some resistance here. I'm not going to pull up the levels just to save some time. Lower highs on your momentum waves, higher highs on your price action, and then a little bit of a little bing bong, right? But sometimes those divs don't just give you a big move down, right? Sometimes that's all they give you. So maybe we can get stopped out there. But yeah, these local bearish divergences could potentially give you a little bit of a move down. Like even some of these, like even your 80-minute, 90-minute, even your 1 hour. Yeah, your 1 hour. No, not your 1 hour, but your 90-minute here. Higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. This is not even printed yet, though. So, but yeah, if we do cool off, that's kind of what I would expect to bring us down. But again, things do look pretty strong. It just wants to keep pushing up. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's see. Quicker in the chat. What is going on? Let's see. Shout out to Quicker. Welcome in, bro. Good to see you. Long time no see, bro. Welcome in. Let's see. Shouting out Dave Digital, too. Shout out to Quicker. Good to see you, bro. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. I want to take a quick look here at Ethereum. As you guys know, key levels given here on the live stream. Looking for the value area high here to get hit at around 26.84. What happens? You get above that value area low, hold it as support. You get that move right in to that value area high. Can't get back above. You get stuck under the POC, and now we're really just playing around with this volume profile. So right now, guys, I will say, and as you guys know, there is kind of a lot of a lot of levels that we're looking at here on Ethereum. Let me actually go ahead and pull it up on this chart as I have. Oh, actually, let me just pull up my face cam here real quick, guys. I don't want to leak any premium sauce here. No premium sauce getting leaked today. But I do want to pull up the Ethereum chart here just because I have some more levels. Bada boom. So yeah, I mean, let's see here, right? I mean, 4-hour green dot printing, 15-minute money flow is not very confluent here. It is in the green, but you don't really get a fresh crossover. But I will say, 8-hour VWAP looking to come up here. 5-hour green dot printing. So, I mean, if you can get, I mean, it does look like we could be setting up for a 4-hour bearish divergence here, which would call for a higher high on Ethereum here locally. So even if we get something like that, I mean, it would still call for a higher high. So maybe we can get a little bit of a local move up here on ETH. But, I mean, levels remain the same. There's really not much to update here on Ethereum, right? Like, as long as we remain above this value area low, sitting at about $2,500, I will be expecting a potential move back to the upside here between the value area high and the POC at around $3,100 to $3,200. And that's kind of the longer term targets. Now, locally, you do have some levels locally here, right? Again, simply $2,500 key value area low. You remain above this, I would be expecting a potential continuation onward up to higher prices, $3,100 to $3,200. However, locally, we do have this, we do have this kind of local value area pulled from, the middle of August, right? And this is kind of what we're playing with right now. You get back into the range, back up to the POC. The idea here, and this is at $2,700. That could be kind of where we put that higher high in at, right? Get a little push up here. Higher high on price action. Might get the lower high on your momentum waves, giving a little bit of a divergence to get, a little range trade in there potentially. But, for the most part, I will say, in the long term, I know not everyone here is trying to like scalp those low time frames. I would generally be looking up for Ethereum for the most part, right? Like red dot will eventually print, could give you the cool off. But that money flow, looking for that money flow crossover on the daily. If we can get that money flow crossover into the green on the daily, that is what I would look for a bigger move up on Ethereum. And again, these are going to be the key levels. Remember the laws of the volume profile, guys, and the fact that we have the POC and the value area high so close here to the high of the range, it kind of does sometimes act as a super magnet, sucking price up. Because typically you get above the value area low, you look for the POC, which is typically somewhere in the middle of the range, and then you look to go to the value area high. But right now, the POC and value area high, like there's really only one place to go here when you're looking at the volume profiles. And then once you start working your way up through that range, 2,900 is going to be the first key level of resistance, because once you start moving through this range, really the goal here would be to get accepted into the larger range from earlier this year, right? Get above that $3,100 to $3,200 mark, which is the value area high of this you're getting close to the value area high of the local range. But once you get, above this value area low at 3,000, that's where I think $3,100 to $3,200 comes in. So you do have some local resistance here, but next big target here would be about 2,900 for Ethereum on my in my own personal opinion. Let's see. Fibs are fibbing, though. Let's go. Shout out to B-Rad Crypto. Like 171 is mine, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. If we get 220 likes right now, I will take a sip of black coffee. I don't know why that would incentivize anyone to hit the like button, but if you like this free content, guys, smash that like button. It is literally the easiest and most free way to spread this content throughout the rest of the crypto sphere to grow the CandleMafia into an even more unstoppable force than we already are. And if you don't want to hit the like button, go ahead, drop a chat, and let me know what we could do to make you smash that like button. We give all the free sauce away. We give you the key levels. We literally have a crystal ball. I share my crystal ball with you guys. Smash that like button, por favor. Let's see. Like it for the coffee. Shout out to Squatch Nose Crypto. Let's get it. Let's see. Okay. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Stomp. Thank you for getting those altcoins in and counted for us. Let me go ahead and let me turn this fan on in the studio. It's getting hot in here, baby. It's getting hot. And I'm drinking the black coffee here, and it ain't iced. I'm sweating over here. Oh yeah. All right, let's see. Chain link to 500. Let's go. Send it to the moon, baby. 197 likes. 220, baby. 220. And we're going to start speed running the altcoins. It's about to get real. The fan is on. Let's go. Okay. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at Ethereum here. I mean, not Ethereum. Let's move on to our first altcoin, which is going to be Sui. Let's go. Shout out to Sui. And shout out to the crazy person on Twitter that this was back in the day. I made a video about. I'm just gonna point this out right now, guys. Nailed the target almost perfectly from our last stream. But yeah, I made a video about Sui like a long time ago, and like some crazy person put up like a Twitter thread saying like the video was just what Sui was, and I just explained like how it worked and like what they were working on, what they were doing as a project, just explaining the project, and. Someone made a whole Twitter thread about how like I was the creator of Sui and how it's like a huge scam, and I was cracking up. I'm like, dude, the fact that people think I'm the creator of Sui is wild, absolutely wild. Just show you how crazy the internet can be. Let's see, Celestia. Yeah, we can take a look at Celestia as well. That was me. Sorry, Frankie. Shout out to Flavor. It's okay. It's just so funny. Like I don't know, like I get like meme coins, like people, it's like people think like, oh, like this guy's got a meme. Like if this guy's a meme coin, like, I mean, very often they're scams, right? Like creators make meme coins because it's extremely beneficial for them for the most part. So I will never make a meme coin. And if I would say even if I ever did, I would never like own any of it, or I just never would. I would just never make a meme coin. But anyway, it's like I understand that, but to say I was the creator of Sui is insane. I appreciate the thought though. Like I appreciate the thought that they thought like I would be like that, like involved in like I'm not a coder, guys. I'm not a coder. I'm an analyst. I'm a trader. I'm a degenerate. I'm just kidding. Not a degenerate. But the fact that they would even think I was Creator Sue is kind of flattering, honestly. All right. Let's go ahead and continue on. Okay. All right. So on Sui, guys, as you guys know, we were looking for price to get a move where, right? And somebody clip it, right? Somebody clip it. I don't make this stuff up. Sometimes I feel like I sound like I'm embellishing, but I'm not. I just know because I remember this specifically. I mean, what were we looking for here, right? We were looking for price to potentially find imbalance. And if we found imbalance, where was price likely to go? Well, very likely we were going to seek out a previous area of balance, which was simply put, sitting right here. What happened? Price got in balance, and where did we go? We went right to the previous area of balance, right? And, you know, not only did we have this old value area here that we were likely to get sucked into, but also we had this full Fibonacci 786 retracement. I think, what was it, yesterday? Yesterday we were kind of hanging out around down here. And then just the logical thought process here is like, hey, once you get above the value area low, and you can just see how well the volume profiles play out here. Get above that value area low, hold it as support, look for the move up to the high, right? And not only that, you also were starting to get turbulence on your golden pocket, but the idea is if once you break that golden pocket, you're going to go for that 786 retracement, right? So kind of two major reasons to look for that target at the 786 sitting here, or value area high sitting here at about $1.78. Multiple reasons to look for a price move up there, and there you go, right? Played out pretty much perfectly. Now, if we do continue up, what can we look for here? Well, shout out to VW John, said he's the creator of chicken nuggets. Shout out to VW John. That is, you must be rich if you invented chicken nuggets. Shout out to VW John. Okay. Shout out to Flavor. Said, have you ever seen Vitalik and Frankie in the same room together? Case closed. Flavor, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I thought you said you were going to blow up my spot like that, man. Come on. I just put on the mask. Anyway. Okay. But yeah, I mean, to be quite honest with you here, I do believe. Yeah, I mean, really. That's Sui Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest here, guys. Next major target, I mean, I could give it the local target, but, like, really the next major target here is, I mean, if you don't, I wouldn't be surprised if you get, like, turbulence inside this zone here, as it is the full Golden Pocket 786 retracement. However, I mean, if you start breaking this 786, and it's not just a deviation above your range for a return back in and a move back down to the low, I would probably be looking, right, if you do get a breakout here, like probably into, you know, pretty big move on Sui up to about, you know, next. I mean, this is the only level, like these fib extension levels are the only things that I can really bring up here based off of not being able to look left. You know, $2.56 is kind of that next extension level that I would look at. So you start getting above that 786 and you're able to break the highs. And again, I wouldn't expect that to happen like today or tomorrow. Could it? Maybe. But, you know, this is a pretty big level here. But if you, I mean, really the only next levels I can look at are these extension levels between about 256 and 321. Can we see a $2.56 Sui in the near future? Potentially. Somebody clip it. Yeah, I mean, I could pull some levels from up here. Like, we could pull some daily levels, right? Like, or maybe even, like, weekly and monthlies. Do we have a monthly level up there? Yeah, okay. So, like, your real next major level of resistance before you start talking about all-time highs is this monthly sitting at $1.97. And it's just going to kind of create this zone. I mean, your weekly is, like, right on top of that. I'm not even going to mark it out, right? Daily. I mean, you got another daily. You got a daily right here. So yeah, I mean that would kind of be the next that would kind of be the next spot I would be looking at for resistance, right? Like you get a move up, you deviate above the volume profile, like those are your last levels before you could break out and potentially see those extension levels come in. So there you go. Other than that, daily money flow crossover into the green, guys. This is one of the things that we were looking at on Sui last week, right? Was it last week? I think it was last week. Looking at that daily money flow crossover, comparing it to the last time we had a money flow crossover on the daily, which is not basically this money flow crossover on the daily gave you that big move up on the back here in December of 2023, right? Now, again, just because that happened does not mean that it's going to happen this time, but money flow crossover into the green here, big move up, right? It's like starting to play out very similarly, right? So, I don't think it's impossible for that daily money flow crossover to give you those higher highs as long as Bitcoin is able to hold up the way it has been. Let's see. Shout out to KD King. King Crypto Pump. Shout out to you, bro. Said, so far, what I'm understanding from the Market Cipher crew is you scared the heck out of the market with all the short stuff, and now you're calling for a higher low, and Market Cipher red dot means nothing. Shout out to KD King. Shout out to you, bro. Please, for the love of God, subscribe to the channel. You don't even have to like the video. Subscribe to the channel and stick around so we can show you how Market Cipher actually works, because a red dot on the daily does not mean that you are going to just get a huge dump. And because you're in a short does not mean that the market is going to crash, right? Shout out to KD King. A lot of new people to the market will think this, right? But I'm here. Your boy Frankie Candles is here to help you, bro. I'm not here to throw hate. I'm here to help you understand how to read Market Cipher so you can actually start making some money instead of trying to look for something that you can look at a signal at and then see a move to the downside or the upside. That's not how it works. It's much more complicated than that. If it was that easy, I would just code a bot on Market Cipher to short red dots and long green dots, right? That doesn't work like that. It's not that easy. So shout out to KD King. Stick around, bro. We're gonna bring you from zero to hero on the charts, and maybe Market Cipher as well. Very important to realize, especially if you're new to the stream here, guys. If you see yesterday we had a daily red dot, right? This does not mean that you're going to go to zero, right? It is not that easy. So this is why you want to look for things like confluence, right? What do your lower time frames look like? What do the higher time frames look like, right? What is your money flow doing? So, just in general here, even on Bitcoin, right? It's the same thing with the 3-day money flow, right? 3-day money flow is coming out, but this does not mean, number one, that you're going to instantly dump. And number two, it doesn't even mean that you have to dump at all, right? You could see these indicators fake out, right? No indicator is going to be 100%. So shout out to KD King. Stick around, bro. I know you're going to watch the whole stream, and maybe you'll even hit the like button, but we're going to help you out, bro. And we're going to bring you from, I don't know. I was trying to think of another thing to rhyme with zero to hero. I was going to be from, I don't know. But there you go. Hopefully that helps you out, bro. And hopefully you can start making money trading, long or short, right? Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to K Diggity. Shout out Mrs. Wick. Let's go. Okay. All right. So that's what I'd be looking at on SUI. We'll see. Target hit. We'll see if we can continue up. But may get some resistance here. Money flow on that daily, though. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is what we did. I don't know if we did it last week or maybe it was on yesterday's stream. It might have been last. So I think it was last week. On that last daily money flow crossover, we did wind up getting, let's call it a 377% pump. So on this next money flow crossover, not that it has to play out like this, but, sometimes history repeats itself or at least rhymes. I mean, that brings you right into this, 300% will get you right into that next Fibonacci retracement. So we'll see. Hopefully we can hit these extensions just like we hit that 786. But you do have some resistance above, so keep that in mind. So there you go. Let's see. Santa's coming to town. Shout out to Mad Ads. Hey, I hope so. Hopefully it brings us green candles. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Solana. Probably not even going to spend a lot of time here on Solana just because, what we've been looking at on Solana here is this main range between $124 and $170, right? Came back down all the way to the low where we also had the macro golden pocket sitting, right? This is where you want to look for longs. We have this bounce zone. This is where you want to look for longs. This is where you want to look for shorts. Wait for price to deviate below your volume profile. Look for your confirmations. Look to reclaim the value area low. Go to the POC, and then potentially look up towards that value area high. We are starting to get a little bit of a local move up here on Solana. And if we are able to remain or maintain, I should say, support above that POC, could see that move up to that golden pocket sitting between about 161 to 164, all the way up to $170 to $175. Those are the next main targets. As long as we're able to stay above this 143 POC, we can potentially look for those higher prices, targeting those next key levels. And other than that, as far as market cipher goes, I mean, let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. Said, reminder, it's not how you stand by your car, it's how you race your car. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. Let's go. I would agree. Let's see. Shout out to Background Vibe. Said, what up, people? Better late than never. Kind of like this bull market. Yeah. Hopefully. Let's see. All right, let's continue on. Yeah, so flipping that PLZ, not too bad. Maintain support over here. I'll be looking at these next two targets, guys. 12-hour green dot looking to print, or 12 and 16-hour green dot printing. Let's check that 1-hour money flow. Crossover into the green. Once again, the 1-hour money flow with your 16-hour green dot. That 1-hour money flow, crossover into the green, was the signal for the move. Giving you a 3% move right after that crossover. 45-minute money flow crossover gave you the even earlier signal. I guess, well, you got a little bit of a dump first, but you pushed up and then still would have gotten in, somewhat. You probably would have gotten in a very similar area. But yeah, 12 and 16-hour green dots, 1 and 45-minute money flow crossovers into the green could give you the continuation up. And very simply put, if we do continue up, those are the next targets I'm looking at. Can we see in the near future a $161 to $170 Solana? Somebody clip it. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Uwali. Hopefully I said that right. I said, can you update us on the 4-hour bearish divergence on Bitcoin? Yes. Well, we actually have a few different situations here, right? So you have one 4-hour bear div right here that did wind up bringing you down to about 62.4, right? And now potentially, depending on how high we come up here, you could just continue to put in, multiple bearish divergences here, right? You put in another lower high. You'll just generally have your momentum coming up with your price generally coming down. Price generally coming up, momentum generally coming down. And, that could be, I don't know. To be quite honest, if you scrub back to the beginning of the stream, I talk about kind of what I would want to see rather than for a bigger pullback. We do have a lot of liquidity. Just remember, sitting above this wick at about, call it 65K even. I mean, you could even call it maybe 65.40, right? Right above these wicks. You have a significant amount of liquidity, and sometimes price gets gravitated to those levels, and even if you're going to cool off, sometimes it will go sweep that liquidity first. So yeah, that is kind of what I would look for there. And then, if you do wind up getting that, you also have an opportunity to print some bear divs here. But let me be clear, right? Let me be clear. Shout out to King. We know you're still out there, bro. Just to point that out, right? Like, if you do get those bearish divergences, this does not mean that you can just simply short, right? Like, it doesn't mean bearish divergence, short the farm, it's going to come down, right? Like, even on the scalp positions, right? Like, if you get a 15-minute bearish divergence, right? Oftentimes, it's very unlikely that you get zero reaction, right? So you have higher highs on price here, right? Bada boom, right? Higher highs on price with lower highs on your momentum waves, right? And what happens, right? You wind up getting a move down. But you have to understand that a bearish divergence is not necessarily going to just give you a massive nuke to the floor, or even give you a continuation, like the start of a bearish trend, right? You have to have confluence, right? You have to be putting in a bearish divergence into a key level of resistance. You have to have multi-time frame confluence. What is the money flow looking like on the lower time frames? What is the money flow looking on the higher time frames? You have to assess the situation, right? So although more often than not, you will get some kind of move down, right? Which we did get, right? And this is a profitable move, right? Depending on how much you're trading with, this little move, depending on how high up on the wick you get, almost 1% move is enough to make profit for a lot of traders, again, depending on how much you're trading with. But it doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be the top, right? Because you can put in multiple bear divs, and this is why higher time frame context is extremely important, right? This is an uptrend, right? So I wouldn't necessarily expect a 4-hour bearish divergence to start a massive dump in the market. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. But if you're scalping, you could kind of say, hey, there's probably a high probability of a cool off here. And then as long as you're, and especially with the volume profiles, right? Typically, you can get a pretty nice entry. And if you're managing it within a volume profile, you have an opportunity to take profit on these trades before eventually holding a portion for it to play out more. And then if it doesn't play out more, right, and you come down and you come back up, right, you're getting stopped out in profit and you're making money anyway. So keep that in mind. Not all bear divs are treated the same, right? Like a bear div in one context with a higher time frame looking a certain way might play out different. Like if you have say you have money flow crossing into the green on the daily with a green dot printing on the daily, right? In that case, a 4-hour bear div is probably not going to give you a massive move, right? It could still give you a move, but you have to know to look at that as in the context of a scalp short, right? Rather than looking to hold it for lower prices. So, with this daily money flow crossover into the green, even if we do print another drive of 4-hour bearish divergence, I don't know if I would be looking for that to play out in a massive way. I would still, based off the higher time frame, be looking for price to make some kind of a higher low and then continue back to the upside. So there you go. And it's like, I always say this, right? This is like the hardest part of my, this is the hardest part of my job, right? Because it's like, it takes time to understand this stuff. It takes time to like look at it play out and then understand how it works. And then it takes even more time to trade it and not let, actually figure out how to like manage your emotions based off all this stuff, right? You might see a 4-hour bear div, and then you know that it's not going to play out in a big way because your high time frame bias is up, right? And if you see that bear div start to give you a move down, you might get really excited, right? You're like, oh my God, it's dumping. I'm going to hold this, right? But you can't forget, oh wait, the daily bias is up, right? So you have to treat it as a scalp. You can't let that dump or that profit that you're seeing get in your head and then try to hold that profit for as long as you can, because you hold the profit as long as you can, eventually you're going to wind up back in the red. I promise you that. I've blown up more accounts than anybody in this chat. Probably everybody in the chat combined. I've probably blown up more accounts than you. I can almost guarantee it. So there we go. I'm speaking from experience, unfortunately. All right, let's see. Shout out to Sleek Coil, said 3-day on BTC is in the red, but the 4-day is heavily in the green and looks to be aggressively climbing. Shout out to Sleek Coil. So yeah, the 3-day obviously is in the red here with the money flow, right? And again, this takes time to play out, right? Even if this was going to play out, like, you could even see it rip up to 70K before that plays out, right? We really need time for this to develop. But, again, like as long as we're above this 60K level, I'm not super, super worried. But definitely going to be cautious around these levels of resistance. Now, 4-day, this is not, I wouldn't call this heavily in the green. This is coming up aggressively, though. I will say that, right? This is definitely coming up aggressively, but you have to be careful. Like I always point back to any other time this has happened, right? Like I could just go back into bar replay mode here real quick. Right? Going back here, right? You might be looking at this, right? And you're saying, oh my God, money flow is coming out. What's going to happen here? Are we going to lose this range and come lower? But you see the VWAP coming up. Once that VWAP prints the green dot, you're likely to get a retracement back up. This is where everyone gets bullish. Everybody hates the bears, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, these bears are morons. Why do they think we're going lower? Except, I am never a bear or a bull, only in the short term, or I'm usually a bear and a bull at the same exact time because we make money going both ways. But this is where everyone hates the bears, right? And they're like, oh my God, you idiot, you're never going back down, right? But understanding money flow here, it would say that the trend is going to continue down, but that does not mean that you can't get massive pumps, right? If that green dot prints on the 4-day, you're going to be expecting a pump to the upside, right? So what happens? You wind up getting that pump. And then this is where everyone's like, oh my God, the bull market, right? Now, will it be a bull market? Maybe. Who knows? But look at this, right? You might be saying, oh, money flow is coming back up here now. What does that mean, right? Like I thought money flow was coming out, but now it's coming back up. But what happens after a little while, right? You just wind up putting in another lower high. So I'm not saying that this has to happen in the current situation, but you have to understand, right? Now we're in the same position, right? Money flow's coming out, right? Everyone's getting bullish, right? And again, I am bullish for the time being. On the medium time frames, I am bullish, looking up towards 67K. But again, I am a trader, right? So I am going to flip-flop back and forth because we make money both ways. So you get the green dot, same thing that happened back here. You get the green dot, you start pumping up. You get the green dot, you start pumping back up. Right? Now, this does not instantly negate the money flow just because it comes up. Remember, it came back up over here. But what happened? It just made another lower high. So we push this forward, right? It's literally the same exact situation. Because what can happen? Now, again, I'm not saying this has to happen, but you have to be careful and open to the idea that it could happen, right? Because it happened back here and it happened back here. You could potentially just continue back down like that, right? Same thing on the 2-day. The same exact thing happened on the 2-day. And this is free sauce. Like, if you look at the 2-day back here, like we were feeling pretty bearish back here just based off money flow. Not calling for, 20K just blindly, but just saying like, hey, this money flow is coming out. That's worth noting, right? If this money flow continues out, the trend is likely to continue down, right? And what happens? We wind up getting the move down. We get a green dot. We get a push back up to the high of the range. And now we're looking at this, and people are like, well, money flow is coming back up. But you could just wind up coming in and putting another lower high and continuing down. And what happens, right? We actually wound up being correct about this. And like one of the only people looking at this, right? Everyone's just calling for all-time highs. But what happens? We come in here, we put the lower high in, and we wind up getting the big dump and the lower low to come in, right? Boom. And you put the lower low in, right? And we knew that it was more probable to get the lower low to come in here to continue the downtrend based off the money flow direction. Just because it came up locally doesn't mean that it's just going to flip up. And I'm not saying, I forget who asked this, I'm not saying you thought that, but I'm just saying the way I interpret it, right? And not only the way I interpret it, but this is why, right? Like I don't just like think that because I think that, right? This is the reason why now when I see the money flow on the, let me just get back to current price here real quick. This is why when I see the money flow on the 4-day peaking up like this, sure, this can, right? There's no way to tell, right? There's no magic bullet. I know a lot of people think we might have the crystal ball. Whether we have a crystal ball or not is confidential information, but there's no way to call this, right? Like this could either going to go two things, right? Two things can happen here. You are either going to get the push up and you're going to come into a bigger money flow wave and we are going to go off into all-time highs, or we're going to see what happened the last 1, 2, 3 times, right? We're either going to see the pump or we're going to see the lower high come in, and it's just going to be the same thing that we just saw happen on the 2-day, and it's going to continue down, and we're going to put in another lower low. Right? Those are the two situations that we could see play out. Now, the medium time frames and the time frames that are lower than the 4-day, again, daily money flow crossover into the green, that would be calling for the continuation of the trend up. Right? So locally, we can be looking for higher. But when we start hitting these major levels of resistance, we have to keep in mind. But when it comes to that money flow, hopefully that answers your question. Find somebody else who will answer their community members' questions so detailed. But yeah, that this does look good. It is coming up pretty aggressively, but it doesn't really negate the fact that it could potentially put in a lower high. What we're hoping for is for it to just continue coming up aggressively, and that money flow crossover on the higher time frames is going to fake out and give us the big move up. That's what I would hope for. But again, 1, 2, 3 times, everybody thought this every single time, and I will say this, right? This is only going to be right so many times, right? You can only be right so many times before you're just bound to be wrong. And, hopefully this is the time where that money flow just gets faked out and winds up being wrong. Hopefully. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Let's see. We took a look at Solana. Let's take a look at Link, or Link, as some people like to call it. All right, let's see here. Got the black coffee real quick. Alex, so what is going on, Alex? Good to see you in here, bro. Welcome in. Let's see. Could you look at Uniswap? We could try to take a look at Uniswap. When is he going to look at Bitcoin? Shout out to K Diggity. We're not looking at Bitcoin. We hate Bitcoin. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't get me attacked. I'll start getting like threats and stuff. This guy hates Bitcoin. Get him. But yeah, let's take a look here. Take a look at the daily money flow starting to creep up here. Take a look at the 16-hour, 3-day. Let's see here. It's a 10-hour money flow looking like. Yeah, I mean, to be honest here, let's take this as we're attacking this previous level of resistance. 786, I mean, getting above this level is going to give you the opportunity to attack your key value area low sitting here at about 1268. Get above this level. If you could get above that value area low, that is where I would look for the bigger move up here. So POC, let me mark these out. So yeah, this level here at 1196, hold this level, break through it, and not reject it. Gives you an opportunity to attack your doorway to higher prices. And that will open up the opportunity to get a move up to about 1428, right? Now, 10-hour money flow crossover into the green. This would make this a pretty high time frame crossover. So that would make you think that your trend is likely to continue up. And just in general, right, you are making higher highs and higher lows, right? So there is no reason to anticipate this to just nuke to the floor. It's not like we're getting any crazy money flow coming out, right? Let's check the 4-hour. Yeah, 4-hour money flow is coming back up. That is interesting. So, yeah, with the 10-hour money flow looking the way it does, I would anticipate even if you get pullbacks here to hopefully put in a higher low and continue up, looking to break that 1266 level for an open door up to about 1426. And that's very simply put what I would be looking at. Yeah, higher time frames, kind of hard to take anything away from these as the VWAPs are kind of just floating above the 0 line. No clear direction on that. Yeah, so, short-term turbulence is always expected, but those are the key levels. That's what I'd be looking at right there. For Link, shout out to Link. Let's go. Shout out to the Link Army, Link Marines. Is that what they're called? I think they're called Link Marines. All right, next altcoin is going to be AVAX. And then what do we say? Also take a look at Celestia. I'm going to write this. Tia. And maybe we'll have a chance to look at a couple other ones. Let's take a look at AVAX really, really quickly here. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so I believe we looked at AVAX yesterday, which was going to be... Yeah, so we filled our whole value area here, right? We got above that value area low, move up to the high. Bada boom. But if we flip that value area high into support, yeah, very similar to what happened here, right? Like, we are likely to respect this area of value until we wind up getting the breakout. Once you get the breakout, where's the next likely place for price to go? In my opinion, it's going to be that 786. Whoops. Come on. Bada boom. Bada bing. Actually, we could probably pull a little bit more of a local move here. Yeah, so I probably the next local target here on AVAX, if you get the push up, $29.59. Can we see a $29.59 AVAX in the near future? Potentially. Somebody clip it. And if we break that level, could we potentially see a $32.70 AVAX? Potentially. Somebody clip it. So, yeah, I mean, just generally, right? Like, we've come up, right? Full Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low. We've come up, rejected the golden pocket. Now we're going for the 786. So, logically, if we break out of this value area high, yeah, $29.59 is going to be that next major zone. Get above that, potentially going to get, some kind of a cool off there. Whether we go back to the bottom of the range or not is hard to tell. But once you break that 786, that does open the door to come up here to about $32. And, yeah, $32.84. Hey, shout out to Hawk Crypto and Tech. Hey, shout out to you, bro. Said, hey, Frankie, hope all is well, brother. Shout out to Hawk Crypto. Let's get it. Everything is amazing here on the... I don't know. I'm trying to think of something clever to say. And it's just getting to that time of day where it's just it's all leaving me. It's all leaving me. But shout out to Hawk Crypto. I appreciate the kind words, bro. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, thanks a lot, bro. Usually, hey, shout out to Hawk Crypto. Everybody always says, "Hey, Frankie, how's Bitcoin?" But nobody ever says, "Hey, Frankie, how are you?" I'm just kidding. You guys always ask how I am. But shout out to Hawk Crypto. I appreciate you so much, bro. Thank you for the super chat as well. Will AVAX reach its all-time high when it's more diluted than previously? That's hard to call. That to be quite honest, especially with what I look at, that's really hard to call. Right? The fact that it is more diluted would make it more difficult. But to be honest, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's really hard to call. It's almost like when people say like, how high can this coin go? Right? Like. Really, like, it's hard to tell that, right? Like, the only thing you can really do as far from a chart perspective is look at Fibonacci extension levels, trend lines, that kind of stuff that'll project into the future. So that stuff's kind of hard to tell. You could also do, like, market cap research and stuff. And, like, I always kind of promote this, even though I have literally zero connection with this company. I don't even know if they make money off this thing. It's the coin perspective. I mean, at this point, we should be sponsored by them. But, yeah, like, I mean, I just highly recommend that. It's 100% free. You just come in here and you can enter in, like, if you want to know how high your coin can go, right? It gives you an idea of, like, realistic expectations, right? I always use this example. Everybody says sheep to a penny, right? So you could figure out how realistic that is, right? You put your target price in and you think it's going to hit a penny, right? 1 penny. It's a 676x from its current price, and the market cap would have to be $5.9 trillion. This is why SHIB will never hit a penny, right? And even with, I did a video on this, I think it was Sheeb. Even with I know people say they have like a burn mechanism, but like even with the burn mechanism, like it was never going to get to a penny. This is not my opinion, right? Like unless like something fundamentally breaks with the laws of how market caps work, Sheeb cannot reach a penny. Like it can reach a penny, but it would need a $5.9 trillion market cap. And if you know how much money that is, you'll realize how unrealistic that is, right? Another one is XRP, right? I don't want to crush anyone's dreams, right? You could also do this in the moon case, but XRP to $10,000. That is a $564.3 trillion market cap for XRP. Now, again, like, I don't know what the argument is here. Like, and I always open, right? There might be something I don't understand, right? Totally open to that. If they tokenize all the world's assets on the XRP blockchain, like, then it can go up to that amount. I don't know. But if you know how much if you thought 5.6 trillion is a lot, 564 trillion is insane, right? So this is why when people think that XRP is going to $10,000, especially like by 2025, I mean, maybe $10, maybe like my absolute moon case for XRP, logically would be about $15 to $20. That would be absolute moon case. More realistically, between $5 and $10. Because remember, guys, you don't want to be like 90% of people in crypto who hold their bag to nothing, right? If you try to hold on for these unrealistic, and I'm not saying all price predictions are unrealistic, right? Just check it, right? When your friend tells you, hey, I think Ethereum's going to go to $250,000 by next year, do the math. Pull up Coin Perspective, right? Like, question them. Don't just, and I know there's like a lot of incentive just to like kind of believe, but that's not how you make money, right? You don't want to be like sitting there waiting for Ethereum to hit $100,000 or XRP to hit $10,000, and instead of hoping to make $1 bazillion and making nothing, holding it back down to zero, you can at least hold on and make a good amount of money, right? It's not going to be the bazillion dollars that you wanted, but you have to be realistic, right? You have to have those realistic targets and actually pay yourself when you're in the green. So keep that in mind. It's extremely, extremely important. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Independent. Said, I used to have 1 billion XRP. Doing that moon math drove me to sell it. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Independent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If XRP went to $10,000, I don't know. I wouldn't even be that rich because everybody else who holds XRP would be super, super rich. And I will hold a lot of XRP, but I know there's a lot of other people out there that hold a lot more XRP than I do. But like even me, like it's not even my number one holding, right? It's like, and I would be like a quadrillionaire. I don't know. Like I would be worth so much money. It'd be insane. So yeah, like it's insane. But yeah, I mean, I hope so. There's not a single person that would want XRP to go to $10,000 more than me, right? But I feel a responsibility on this channel to make sure that I'm not telling people to wait for $10,000. That's out of control. But I hope that would literally be, that would be insane. I would literally be able to like burn buildings filled with money for the rest of my life, like acres and acres of money, like just for the rest of my life. It would like money would just mean nothing. Yeah, like world hunger would be solved 100%. I could solve world hunger, and it wouldn't even like begin to touch my money. So yeah, that's not even including the other people who are going to be worth way more. But yeah, XRP to 10K, baby. Let's go. Now we're getting amped up. I want it to go to 10K now. I'm going to look up the conspiracy theories. I'm going to report back to you guys on tomorrow's live stream, and I'll let you know what I find out. I think it just has to do with all the assets in the world being tokenized on the ledger. I don't really understand. That might be something that's out of my wheelhouse a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. Crypto Billy said, I would sell it and buy Caspa, then drop ship it to RMT wallet. RMT's wallet. Airdrop it to his wallet. Yo, shout out to Crypto Billy trolling RMT. Retro Mike Tech. Shout out to you, bro. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Avalanche next target. I mean, locally, we've already rejected 28.49. Technically, let me get rid of this golden pocket real quick. Technically, if we break out, next target would be the 786. But you do have, these would be the local resistance levels that I would look at. If you come back down, you have your POC, and then your value area low. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Shout out to Quicker, said, Frankie, if XRP goes to 10K and you still hold one single XRP, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. Shout out to Quicker. If XRP went to $1,000, I would sell it all. Shout out to Quicker. I mean, hey, if it hits 10,000, why not hold it in case it goes to 10 million, right? I'm kidding, guys. Don't do that. I'm being sarcastic. Shout out to Quicker. Yeah, I mean, we could give away millions of dollars just like with no problem. I could give like $1 million to every one of my subscribers with zero issue. Like literally zero issue if XRP went to $10,000. I'm actually going to make that calculation. I don't know if I want to make that calculation publicly. I'm going to make that calculation right now, though. I actually don't even know how much XRP I hold, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. I actually... Is everything okay here? Okay, and my phone died. Okay, well, I would... Yeah, I'm going to do that calculation. I don't know if I want to do it publicly. But it's not that... whatever. Anyway, let's continue on here, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to... real quick, let me take a look at Uni. Let's take a look here. I'm going to clear this. This is like an old chart. We have not looked at Uniswap in a very long time. Yeah, this is all old. All right, so let's take a look here. And we will take a look at Celestia next. Man, this thing is awkwardly creeping to the upside. Very awkwardly creeping. Let me pull this real quick. Interesting. Where your POC and your value area high are kind of close to each other there, which is interesting. Let's check that daily. Yeah, daily green dot printing. 90-minute money flow already in the green. Are we getting a daily green dot on Bitcoin now? We're going to get the VWAP flip. We may, if we keep pushing here, guys, we may get the VWAP flip on Bitcoin with an immediate green dot right after the red one. That would be fire. And that would make us hit our next target here above 65,000. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we can. 67K, baby. Keep your eye on it. But taking a look at Uni. I'm just going to mark out like the next local levels that I would expect to come up and hit if you continue up here. Bada boom, bada bing. Boom, boom. So yeah, I mean, you do have like local levels. I'm not going to bring up all the local levels just because it gets a little overwhelming for people. But yeah, I mean, I would say, locally, yeah, I mean, if you continue up here, I mean, if you get the breakout of that local range that you're in right now, right? You get the breakout of this local range, I would look up towards this golden pocket value area low. That would kind of be the next area of resistance, in my own personal opinion. Bada boom. Yeah, 921. 921 would be that next major zone if you get the breakout here. If we pull up our visible range volume profile, yeah, I mean, once you break $8, you're kind of breaking into the low volume gap. Let me zoom in here a bit. Come on, volume. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I would probably watch $8 even. I mean, not only a psychological level, but also a nice high volume node. So you break out, might get clung up here. Obviously, you have this little area of consolidation, get clung up on that high volume node. But once you flip that level, I would be looking for a pretty quick move up to about $9.15 at that value area low, which could open the door to higher prices. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So yeah, that would be, keep your eye on $7.98, $8, all the way up to about $9.25 if you can get the breakout. Daily money flow crossing over into the green as well. So that would make you anticipate somewhat of a move to the upside. So there you go. That's what I would look at on Uni. So there you go. Let's see. Oh, God, Bitcoin pumping. Bitcoin pumping here. Come on, baby. Come on. We're still not at, I'm thinking this is the wick. It's not. The wick is at 65. Okay. So we still got a little ways to go. Still got a wee bit to go. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at TIA real quick. Bada boom. Oh my God. Look at the wick on this thing. What the heck? Somebody got a haircut. Yikes. All right. Let's see here. So, yeah, we are slapping potentially into that doorway to higher prices, right? We are slowly, or I should say quickly, approaching that low volume gap, right? I believe this is what we were looking at the other day. Pretty low volume gap, right? I'll mark this out, right? Low volume gap right here, right? We break above this level at about $7, break that $7 level, could wind up opening you up into this low volume gap. Now, you do have a little bit of a hang up here, basically once you crack these highs. You do have a little hang up here about 733, but once you get into this gap, you could see that quick move into your value area low at about 877. Somebody clip it. We'll actually leave the line there in case it does play out. But yeah, 16-hour money flow crossing over into the green. Check the daily green dot. Come on, Bitcoin's got to be printing. Yeah, VWAP flip. If we get the VWAP flip on Bitcoin, guys, that's going to be a pretty nice sign to get that big move up to the next target. Not 67 yet, but that $55,000 zone, maybe 60, maybe 56.3. But again, at that point, you're pretty close. Like, this is the next target on Bitcoin, right? Between 67K and about 66.3. That's your next resistance level, right? So we get that VWAP flip here. If that daily green dot decides to print, that would be pretty nice for that push up there. But we'll see. We'll see if we can get those shorts on that SFPs here. But anyway, back to Uni. Whoops, I don't want to undo that. I'm sorry, back to TIA. Yeah, that's what I'd look for. Low volume gap between about, I would probably call it about 750 all the way up to about 885. So break 750, that's where you're seeing the quick move up to 875, 880-ish at the value area low. And then once you flip that, you can look for the bigger move up. And again, this is just based off of the simple theory, guys, that the market is always seeking fair value. You have a range down here. Once you break out of that range, price is going to seek the previous area of fair value, which comes from this area of consolidation, which extrapolated brings you this range here. Right? It's very logical. It's not like magic. Although a lot of people think it's magic, and maybe it is magic. But, that is basically what I'm going to be looking for on TIA. And with that money flow crossover, it actually doesn't look that bad. It does not look that bad. So there you go. We'll have to see what happens here. But again, short-term turbulence is always expected, guys. Nothing goes up in a straight line, and nothing goes down in a straight line. So, with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I think that's all my chairs got for today's live stream as well, because it keeps sinking. But there you go, guys. Hopefully this helps you guys out. And shout out to Sleek Coil. There's a green dot on the 16-hour and the 12-hour with not only with the 12 and 16-hour green dots, but they're now confirmed. However, oh no, that's a TIA. Yeah, green dot on the 16 and 12-hour here. And on top of that, you also have your 1 hour money flow crossing over into the green, right? So it gives you that little 1/16th market cipher B strategy with a high time frame green dot, lower time frame money flow crossover into the green. And you have it on the 12-hour and the 16-hour. 12-hour, 45-minute, 16-hour, 1 hour. 16-hour with the 1 hour. 16-hour green dot, or money flow crossover into the green with that 16-hour green dot sometimes can give you a bigger move. Not 100%, but a lot of the time. 12-hour green dot with your 45-minute money flow crossover, which is not quite there yet. But once you get that money flow crossover into the green on that 45-minute, it may be the thing that's able to give you the bigger move up. So, with all that being said, shout out to the Mafia. Shout out to DJ Johnny. I always say I'm calling you DJ Johnny. Shout out to DJ Johnny. Shout out to, let's see. Shout out to Joseph. Santana says, Joseph Santana says, God candles go straight up and flash crashes go straight down. Well, candles can go straight up and straight down. Candles only go straight up and straight down, but price action never goes straight up or straight down. I guess technically it does sometimes, but nothing goes straight up or straight down forever, I think we should say. But shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Sleek Coil. Says, love you, Frankie. All set. Dropping those candles in the chat. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Shout out to Gen Z asking when BTCTA. If you guys missed the Bitcoin TA scrub to the beginning of the stream, we just covered all of what I'm expecting here. Shout out to Nikki94 Boo. Said, no, don't go. Shout out to Nikki94 Boo. I may pop back up here for a Frankie Fake Out in just a minute. But with all that being said, guys, I'll see you here tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Guys, my short got stopped out. We lost it all. I'm just kidding, baby. We still got the long run in, up 1,200. Also took a little more profit on this trade, guys. Took 2K out. Still up 1,200. We're going to let the long run into those next key levels that we just went over. If you guys want to trade on Femex, check the links in the description down below. I also have some, I forgot to use these today. We got some new lower thirds for our affiliates. Let's go. This is fire. I was up late last night trying to do that. But anyway, guys, with all that being said, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. Hasta pasta, Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out.